Ruben Amorim getting sacked didn't surprise me one bit. He was very successful in Portugal, obviously, as a head coach for Sporting. He won a couple of league cups over there. Everything was going good for him. And I think they wanted him to implement that same style over in Manchester. And I think in the beginning, they thought it was going to be an easy transition and just bring your ways from Sporting over to Manchester and we'll all make this work. I think INEOS, I think the Glazers, I think just the Manchester ownership in general promised him a lot of things. I think they promised him players, money, probably more ownership of the club. Even there's a lot of players that he bought specifically that just didn't fit the system that he wanted to implement, and it begs the question if these were players that he truly wanted, or was this Jason Wilcock's decision or somebody else within that club that's making these decisions. So on one hand, you have Manchester ownership that just seems very incompetent, like I said. That's one part of the equation. On the other side of the equation, I think you have the formation and the 3-4-3 that clearly wasn't working. One of the biggest upsets or things that would really piss me off was watching Bruno play in the back. Right, um, if you've been watching Bruno for a while now, for a couple of years, you know that that's not his position. Especially not next to Casemiro, who's older up there in age and who's not going to track back the way he should. He was leaving a lot of that responsibility up to Bruno. We're so used to seeing Bruno higher up the pitch, providing those assists. I think a lot of people had faith in this man, and they thought that he was going to absolutely turn everything around at Manchester. After games and talking to the media, he was very likable, right? But when you look at that one interview that he did right before, the day before he got let go, you can just tell there was tension. You can tell that he was specifically talking to the ownership of Manchester and saying, "I came here to be the manager, not just the coach." You can tell that he was taking shots at certain people within the club, right? Specifically higher ups. And the next day he was let go. But again, I don't think necessarily it was 100% his fault. He was just using the players that he had because he wasn't really getting the players that he was probably asking for, if that makes sense.